that we know it's feeding from both tanks. And also another thing is the reason we want it to be feeding from changing. We don't want that one to be too less, because now it's changing our center of gravity. So the forces acting on the aircraft are going to be moving, shifting with it.
Your homework for today,
center of gravity.
Yeah, which is at the same time.
This one with that one, with the Charlie 72. So you can also, with this one, you can select or use a left tank or right tank, or you can select on both the fuel selector. Now let me show you actually. This one, I wouldn't say this one is a bit bigger. Well, it's advanced here now, because you can see one Mabila thing, they can retract. It's a better engine than this one. These ones do not retract. So in the air, when it's flying, it's going to retract. What is to retract? Okay, sorry. so when it's flying, it's going to go up. So the wheels will be, you won't see the wheels anymore. You're inside the wings basically. Yeah, when you're rolling and stuff. So basically the reason also for doing that is because when you're flying and these things are not retracted, they add drag, so it slows you down a bit. So when you're doing that, it reduces the drag, and now you can go at a faster pace. No. So you can see Mona, they're connected straight to the fuselage.
That means this moves slower.
Yeah, this one is it's slower than that one. Yes. So if you can come check here, just check there. You'll see this in the middle. You can come inside. Let me go that side.
You can touch it.
So just come here.
No, you won't.
No. Oh, so one.
Go in.
So here, look here. So it says right tank, left tank.
Yes.
Then both Ilan. So it will be feeding on both tanks.
Yes.
Bravo. Yeah. Now from one. Come. So you can see Lana. So when it's like this, it's feeding from the right tank. Then Lana, it's both. So both tanks at the same time. Then here it's left tank. Then here we bring it back to off.
Okay.
Yes. So let's go finish our Preflight inside. So same thing that we did that side. We're gonna check our aileron again. Checking if. So the reason we're checking the aileron also is to check if it's moving. Because if the control column wasn't moving, that'll be a problem in the aircraft. How did it fly? Because if it's not moving, that means our aileron won't be moving, so we won't be able to use our control column. So you check, then again we check our flaps. So we have to check if this thing is still connected to our flap.
Why my paramedic?
So like I said, it's something called differential aileron, right? Let's say we're turning to the left. This aileron goes up, it deflates up, and that aileron deflates down. So because we want that one to be increasing, this one is increased left, yes, because it's going up, then we're turning. So as it's increasing left, it's also increasing its speed across in the air, so that we can turn to the left. This one will be slowing down a bit. And there's another thing, this one deflects more up than that one deflects down. The reason is because we want to have more drag on this one, so that this one can slow down, and that one must move faster than this one to be able to turn to the left.
Okay, what if petrol
Oh yes.
So what do you do?
So basically we have procedures for that. So first of all, your petrol shouldn't be finishing in the air, because we have to calculate how much petrol you needed and if that petrol will be able to get you there. And we also have to have reserve fuel in the aircraft. So this reserve fuel, when you're landing, mustn't be touched. It must always be there. That's just in case, let's say you come into Wonderbom and there's a problem here at Wonderbom. That reserve fuel must be able to get you to another aerodrome. So if you are flying, and let's say we were flying to, for instance, Bloemfontein, and my planning was saying 3 hours. When I get there, I must make sure that I use 3 hours, and there must be reserve fuel that was left in there, right? So I think with these ones for people, 45 minutes, yes. 45 minutes reserve fuel. So that fuel that you have in the tank must be able to carry you for the next 45 minutes to your alternate destination. Mara, if it happens that you did use, maybe you didn't calculate properly, and you did use all your fuel, we have procedures. So first of all, we're going to have to, the engine is basically obviously going to shut down because no more fuel is going to the engine. So now we're going to do our emergency landing. So emergency landing, that's when we're going to have to land at a place other than the aerodrome. So it won't be at an airport. So we're going to have to select a field. Any field here, if we are able to land on it. So you also land a lapo. And if it's in the evening or there's a street, so you land on that street.
Yeah, controller.
No, we have to control it.
Ingana fuel,
yes.
Control it.
You have to, yes, you can control it.
Have you ever played with the paper plane? Paper plane?
No.
The one where you play, then
yes,
paper, then you throw.
Yes.
In an engine.
No.
It has no engine. But does it fly?
Yes.
yeah, it's the same thing. So it will glide basically. Your glider. So we're going to glide it. So what we're doing first, you have to select that speed, the gliding speed. So for these ones, it's normally around 70 knots, 80 knots. So you're maintaining that speed and gliding to that empty field that you have selected. So or land a lap. But now that's going to be a problem because now you have to do paperwork with CAA and all those legal stuff.
If there's no place where you can land and say pelili fuel, what would you do?
You have to select a field. You have to make sure you select a field.
It's cut.
Yes, the time is limited. Time is limited, but you have to select an appropriate field and try to land the aircraft.
That's why your last resort is a road.
Yeah.
Public road.
If there's a road, you land on
Last
that road.
resort. The other thing is we are trying to always look for a field.
Yes, every time.
You're looking around. Okay, I can land there. Okay, shower. Good. Okay, I can land there. I can land there. I can land there. Good. All the time.
And that's why they tell us every time when you're in aircraft, your mind mustn't be sleepy. You mustn't be sleeping because you're always checking. You're always checking everything, making sure your aircraft is in order. You haven't passed any limits, speed limits or temperature limits. The pressure is still in the specific place. So every time you're checking. There's no time to be resting in the aircraft.
Maybe you have to do some work. Or you must get
So first of all, so the different stages with aviation. So we have when you're training to become a private pilot license. So you'll have a student pilot license. There you're allowed to fly with the instructor only until you go solo. After going solo, that means once they've seen that you can fly alone, you'll fly alone, but you're not allowed to have other passengers. It's either you're flying with your instructor or you're flying alone. Then after getting your PPL, that's when you can now your friends, your parents, they can fly with you. But still there are some restrictions that you can add to the PPL. So once getting your PPL, you can't now fly Abu Mango and stuff because you're not allowed to earn money with your PPL. Yes. So after getting your commercial, that's when you can start earning money. Ooh, good question. So the big airlines, so it depends on the type of aircraft you have. So Tina, when you're flying, it's basically in the what's the lower one, the troposphere. Yes. Then bigger aircrafts can fly into the tropopause and the stratosphere. No.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So obviously accidents do happen, but no, like with the big airlines, they have radar and everything, so they have people telling them where they are, and also on the screen they have radar that will tell you if an aircraft is approaching and stuff like that. But with us, we're always reporting. So if we're not talking to tower, we are in an airspace where there's no tower, we will always report our positions. So let's say I'm over Shoshanguve. Yeah. I'll tell the people on frequency, hey guys, I'm over Shoshanguve, maybe overhead. What's that stadium again, Shoshanguve? Or Lena Brongo Spray. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's say Kiko Brongo Spray Dam. Kilo boats or guys, Kimo Brongo Spray Dam at this altitude. Then boats or where they are. Then if they're in my vicinity, one of us will have to decide will stay. If and go to another place. Because to land. And there's another thing, if you see an aircraft coming, so what you want to do is always you turn to the right. So if he's coming like this, Kochika to my right and Ochika to his right. The thing is, because as a pilot in command, you sit on the left. So when we turn into the right, you want to make sure hore o khona mmona angere. So turn it o khona mmona so that you can see him as you are turning to the right, so you can avoid each other. So those are the precautions that are put in place. We have to turn it to the tag.
Plus the semicircular room. Because depending on which direction, what your head is,
Oh yes.
there's a particular flight level.
Right level you should fly.
So yeah.
And also for IFR and also the VFR, there's also that separation. So IFR will only fly at the thousands, so let's say 1,000, and VFR will fly at 1,500.